Good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together I just love it when that happens. But we're going to be doing a full face makeup tutorial once I get my audio working itself because it disconnected. Here we go. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, I'm going to be flying blind today. I am not going to be able to hear what's going on, so I am just going to rely on you to give me an indicator if something is not happening the way that it should happen. So just give me a heads up if you end up not being able to hear me for any reason. Okay, so again, welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together in a full face makeup tutorial. So our full face step-by-step tutorial is we're going to answer the question, can I give women over 40 a vibrant candy-colored glow-up using Juvia's Place and UCANBE makeup? Let's find out. All right, so remember, while we are live, you can ask any question in whatever chat platform you're on, and I will do my best to get that question asked and answered while we are live here today. If I can get Instagram to cooperate, we will be live there as well. So far, that is not working to our advantage. So our easy makeup theme for today is going to be women over 40 get a bright new look with Splashy Candies. That's from UCANBE and Juvia's Place palette. So we're going to be working on James chapter 5, verses 4 to 6 today. So continuing on in our study with that. So go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Grab your brushes, grab your lashes, grab your palette, and then get on back here. Let's get going.
A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Thursdays at 8. Can't wait. Come on in, sis. Grab your joy, take your place. We're talking beauty, talking scripture, talking God's good grace. From blush to Bible, he's the one who makes us glow. Faith on your lips, love in your soul.
All right. So for those of you who are on Instagram, I sincerely apologize. They are not cooperating today. So our foundation verse for this podcast is, I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And that comes from Psalm 119, verse 11. And all of these verses that we're doing for season 3 of the podcast episode, we just had our 3rd anniversary. Whoop, whoop. So season 3 is going to be coming from Color Me James. And you can go to colormejamesbook.com. Pick up your copy in whatever format you like, and then enjoy working through from the beginning to end. There is an email list on that landing page that will help get you connected. So if you're starting like right now, when we're already in chapter 5, that email list will guide you from chapter 1, verse 1, all the way through to today. You'll get an email a week, and that will just help guide you along on your journey so you can follow along with us with that. All right, so last week, we started James chapter 5. We had verses 1 to 3. And I don't know about you. For me, I'm a little bit rough on this one. So we're going to just go ahead. We're going to listen to the song. We're going to say it together at the end. And let's just work on chapter 5. We also talked about chapter 5. James is now hitting on the rich people. And we discussed how that would be us if you're in the United States. Not that other countries aren't in that world too. So don't think you're off the hook if you're in Canada. Because nope. Okay, so here we go. Let's listen to that. The song for that week for James chapter 5, verse 1 to 3 was Buckets for the Tears.
This ain't just about them. It's about us. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. You'll need buckets for the tears when the crash comes upon you. We think we're blessed cause we got more, but heaven at the door. This ain't history, this ain't then. He's coming back to judge all men. Radio sweat and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut, destroying your life from within.
All right. So you can listen to the rest of that song on your favorite streaming platform. Whatever, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora. I'm actually surprised how many of you listen from Pandora. Yay. And then also Amazon Music. Lots of listeners on Amazon Music. So stream there. If you have Amazon Prime, your music is already free on there. So you can listen anytime you want to any of those songs at no charge because you have Amazon Prime. Okay, so our verse for this week is going to be moving on in chapter 5. So we are going to move to James chapter 5, verse 4 to 6. The song that you're listening to right now is the song for this week, James chapter 5, verse 4 to 6. This one is called Master Avenger. Oh, she just said the word. That was kind of creepy. It's called Master Avenger, and this is James 4 through 6 from Selah Soul. So looking at that verse card there, let's go ahead. Let me get over to the chat because we're here. So let's go ahead and say that verse together. We're progressing on in our conversation of things that potentially can go wrong and warnings to look for if you are among the elite, among the rich. We're talking, in this particular passage, we're talking about business owners and people who are responsible in the overseeing of other individuals. So here we go. James chapter 5, verse 4 to 6. All the workers, yes, you're saying this out loud. Here we go. All the workers you've exploited and cheated, cry out for judgment. The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger. You've looted the earth and lived it up, but all you'll have to show for it is a fatter than usual corpse. In fact, what you've done is condemn and murder perfectly good persons who stand there and take it. So, let's hope we don't get a Google slap this time. We got the word murderer, Master Avenger. We've got corpse in there. So just all kinds of good times from a social media perspective. So you may notice as some of these posts come out, there's going to be like characters in some of the vowels just to keep that from not being displayed because these are derogatory words in a lot of instances. So, all right. And for those of you who have already shouted out good morning, it is good to be here with you. So give me a shout out. Let me know where you are coming from. Let's see. Let's talk about our products. So for today, you can see that palette right there. This palette is, in fact, let me just get mine out here. One of the two palettes we're going to be using. This is the UCANBE Splashy Candies. We're going to have a little bit of a almost neon look today. So it'll be a little different. So Splashy Candies, that you can see that palette right there. All of the products used today can be found on a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com/shop. Also in the show notes of whatever platform you're on, it should be updated to show all the product links. These are all mostly going to be Amazon links. So it makes it easier for you shopping in a place that you already shop, saving you the most amount of money that I possibly can. And there is no expectation that you are buying every single product that I'm going to be using. If you already have a palette that has some great neon colors in it, grab that. So today we're going to be in the yellows, greens, pinks, and blue. Nope, no pinks. Just kidding about that. So yellow, greens, blues, and kind of a little bit of a, almost a terracotta-y kind of a color, but that's sort of a background color. Okay, so enough jibber jabber. Let us get going. So the verse is scrolling across the bottom of your screen so you can begin. Oh, here we go. Hello from my windy English neighborhood. Yeah, I don't know what your miles per hour winds are over there, but it's been a little crazy over here. The last couple of days we've been hanging around between 20 and 30 or 35 miles an hour winds. So I feel your pain because that's a lot. So just out of curiosity, in where you are, Anthea, is that, are you cold and windy? Do y'all get allergies like we do? Like we got everything blowing in the wind. We got tree stuff blowing in the wind. We got pollen and all kind of thing blowing in the wind. So our allergies are a little bit crazy. Is that a thing over there? All right, give me a shout out when you get a chance. Okay, so let us get going with what we are working on today. We're going to, again, do a full face makeup tutorial. I am so glad you love those colors. Thank you, Rachel. We're still in love with this Milk Hydro Primer. So I think last week was the first week I used it, and I have loved it. My combo skin appreciate. I don't know if it'd be fair to call it hydro, though, because usually with things that claim to be like super hydrating, it's like way too much, and my face goes into like protest for it. So this is not like that. So go ahead and enjoy. It's like a jelly primer. Give it a try. I put the link on there for the same sample pack that I have. So it's got the primer and then it has a setting spray. Didn't too much care for the setting spray, but we've got cows. Okay, so we're just gonna give like one. Oh, okay, that was a little bit extra little pump. Oh, sorry, right there, just a little tiny bit. We're gonna work it between our fingers. This one gets tacky pretty fast. The cries have been heard. So we're just gonna put that all over fine lines, wrinkles, any place you need a little hydration. You got combo skin like me, make sure you get that on the nose. We're going around the lips. Can you hear that tacky? What? Oh, nothing like a little fuzz in the morning. There we go. Okay. So that is going to prime our face and get us ready to go for all the fun stuff we're going to be playing with. So I'm going to cap that so I don't make a mess. We're going to grab our concealer now. And this is the Lancome Tinted Old Concealer. And I'm the shade 090. You can get to your nearest Ulta, Sephora, wherever. And check this out. So things I like about this. Lightweight, full coverage, stays where it's supposed to, doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles and make them look worse than they already are. Okay, so our answer back to our question about English, nature, and allergies. We don't have much pollen at the moment. The last 50 days of nonstop rain have washed everything away in the UK. Oh, okay. All right. So allergies are not exclusive to Texas. So sorry. But glad to hear you're not suffering with pollen at the moment. And yay for the rain, because we could use some of that here. So if you could just pack some of that up and send that to Texas, that would be great. All right. Oh, and now we got some people trying to move to the UK. Okay, sunny yesterday and everyone was confused. What is that strange yellow ball in the sky? Oh my goodness. Yesterday and the day before, while windy, have been beautiful sunshiny days. I just love those days. And at work, we have this wonderful set of huge windows across the front of the office, which is like right in front of me. And so I have the joy of getting to just look out and see all of that beautiful sky and clouds and sunshine and the birds that come to visit from time to time. We have parakeets in our office, and we actually have birds that will come to the edge of the like windowsill thing and like chatter through the glass at the birds that are in the office. So, anyways, just I love nature. Okay, so we're going back to our concealer conversation here. Okay, let's grab that. We're gonna uncap that. Oh, let's look like I got a little straggler there. There we go. So we were talking a second ago about the Hydro Grip Primer. And I love trying new things. So what is your favorite primer of choice right now? What are you enjoying and what has been working for you? Or what is one? Nah, let's not go negative. Let's just go positive. So tell me a primer that you are either currently using or that you've used in the past and you just absolutely loved it. And then give us a shout out for what your skin type is so we know how that's going to play with different skin types. So skin type and favorite primer. So give me a shout out. Let me know what you got. So now that that's set there for a second, we're just going to blend that out using our middle finger. We're going to make sure to get that up here on the brow bone today because we're not going to be using a shadow color, so to speak, up there. But we want something to blend into. So we're just going to blend that over. There we go. Getting right there in that inside corner. I got redness on my nose, so we're just going to do that. I think my volume may have turned itself up a little. Let's go down. There we go. Oh, I love that part right there. Let's see. The good thing about the rainy gray weather in England is that the grass is a vivid green. If the pictures that I see are even close to the reality, I am certain of that. In fact, I think we should just, in whatever season is best, I think we should just all go visit Anthea. We'll have an in-person event just to see what this gorgeousness is that she is experiencing. Is that a word? I'm not sure. It is now. Okay, so now that we've got that, we are going to put on our foundation. I'm using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation, and I'm actually using a different beauty blender right now, as you can tell. So this was just, I actually didn't bring mine when I was putting my makeup on an accident, and somebody gave me this one. But this is just like a typical Real Techniques-ish, generic-y kind of beauty blender, but it has played really nicely with this foundation. So maybe give that a try. You're having a little private chat. Okay, so we're going to give just a little bit right there like that. A little bit of this goes a long way. So just, you can always add more, but if you get too much up on there, then it's going to be hard to play with. So we're just going to tap that out. Get that shared everywhere. We're going to make sure we get around our lips. And I'm going to kind of go over the brows just a little bit because I want some of that color up here on this top part right here. Then we're going to use the edge of that to get right up into the hairline nice and neatly so we don't have like a finish line of where the foundation is. Going to blend that out onto the neck. And then we're going to work up into where the concealer is so that everything is nicely blended together. I'm going to use the edge of that and get around the nostrils there. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, so back to our conversation about... Come on over, ladies. Be careful, you might never leave. Many Americans have settled here. That could happen. I grew up in a military family, and so I have lived a lot of places, but any place in Europe that is not, I've not visited, I have not lived there. For my girls' senior trip, I sent them to a European trip where they were on, it was supposed to be a mission trip, but then once they got there, I don't know. I just don't feel like that ended up being the focus of the trip. And then the leaders didn't really do a good job of leading. But the girls there were 3 of them. They had a great time together. They protected each other. And it ended up just being wonderful. I still have my little Paris thing that they brought back. I don't know, proud mom moment. So I would really love to go. That is just a place that I have not been. It is definitely on my bucket list. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm more of a dark and gloomy weather person. My husband calls me a vampire. Okay, well, for those of you, I don't even know. Where was the Dracula story originated? That was European-esque somewhere. I don't remember enough about it. Let's see. Regarding primers, I love the Morphe Prep and Set Spray. It makes my foundation go on quickly and smoothly. Yes, Morphe definitely usually towards the top of the list. Do you like, which one is it that you like? They've got the, one is a black container, one is a white container, and then they've got a clear one, unless they've added more to it. Oh, there was the gold one too. Which one of those is your favorite that you like? And then what is your skin type? Okay, so enough blending. Okay, let's go on to our setting powder. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible. This is the Blurfection. And we're just going to, well, let me get a little out here. There we go. Yes, you can see it is listed as a brightening, so it's kind of a nice kind of pink color in Juvia's place. It is the one, it's called Cotton Candy. Okay, let's see. And Thea says it's the one in the gold spray. Okay, fantastic. So good. Thank you for that recommendation. I may have to actually, I don't know if I tried that one yet or not. I know I've seen it. I just don't know if I personally tried it. We'll have to do that. All right. And the Morphe ones, I know a lot of people who use those for both sides. It's a spray before you put everything on, and then it's the spray to set after you put everything on. So, okay, we're going to get that powder. We're using that triangle end. And we're just going to set that, everything that we got on there. Then I'm going to take this. Let's see. Before 50, I was the early oiliest girl in the world. Now I'm more of a normal combo. I would definitely, same for me. I don't know. I would say for me, it started a little bit before 50, like maybe early mid 40s that started. And I don't really think there's been any sort of food change. So it's not diet related. I eat the same amount of chocolate now that I ate then. Okay, maybe a little more. But definitely I think hormones play a part in the oiliness or dryness of your skin. And I like the aerosol. Yes. The only spray, setting spray that I have used that I felt was a pump and was super fine was the one that Benefit Cosmetics came out with. It was a pump spray, but that had the finest setting spray that I have ever seen, and I can't remember what the name of it was. I'm not even sure if they still make it or not. I think they do, because it's part of that new line of skincare stuff they have. I'll just see if I can find it. Once upon a time I had a thing of it, but it's like super fine, and it's also supposed to waterproof your makeup. I don't usually wear makeup if I'm going swimming or anything, so I don't know about all that, but it was definitely super fine. Okay, in the summer, I also used the Sculpted by Amy with an SPF of 50 spray over my makeup during the summer for this. Yes, and I just cannot do goopy primer SPF. But if you put that SPF in that setting spray, all about that. My favorite one is the one from... their brand colors are yellow and white. The cries have been heard. I can't remember the name of it. The brand colors are yellow. Super Goop. I love that one because that one's like really lightweight. You have a choice of 30 or 50 SPF, and that one does really well too. So yes, definitely. And really, we should be using SPF year-round, although I am not a good person to lead by example in that respect. So, onward and out from underneath my inefficiencies, we're going to press on to our contouring. So, I'm going to grab my Pretty All Set, still loving this. Okay. I've kind of switched it up a little bit. So you're going to see me use 3 different things today. So I've got the Pretty All Set because I am infatuated with this right here. I love that. But the pink is just not quite pink enough for me. So I'm going to use the Pretty All Set for the low. And I'm going to use a Juvia's Place for the color. That's going to be the volume 4. And then I'm going to use the Cookie from Benefit for the highlighter. I know, it's just kind of all over the place, but whatever. That's why we collect things, right? Okay, so absolute favorite setting spray is BYO Beauty Dibs. I'm on my second bottle already, and it smells amazing. Okay, yes, I have seen that, and good feedback on that one. We're going to grab our contouring brush, aka foundation brush. We're going to use this end for the lows, this end for the highs. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm fair skinned, so be careful, cautious. Don't go too crazy with this one. We're just going to do like one little whoop. And that's going to go from the top of the ear here. We're going to curve it, go to about the edge of the eye above the hollow of your cheek. And then we're going to go right beside the hairline. Okay, maybe I was a little too gentle. There we go. And I'm just kind of doing like a little bit of a U shape kind of thing. There we go. Same thing on the other side. And the good thing about this being a powder is you've got a lot of control. You don't like where you put it, just keep on blurring. Just keep on blurring. You'll get it. Okay, and I am going to use the side of this. We're going to go right here. That's going to go under the jawline. We're going to go from the ear, under that, right to the corner of the mouth. That's going to give us a cut at the jawline. So we look like we have less double chin than I actually do. And you're just kind of keeping a neutral face so you can actually get right up underneath that jawline. Now I'm going to switch to the flat of this. I'm just going to give a little pass. Little there, little there. And then we're just going to blend them. I'm going to use circular motions to kind of blend that out a little bit. And they will eventually end up meeting just a tiny, tiny in the middle there. We're going to just barely set it. And go beside the nose here. Tipping out underneath. There we go. Wendy. Wendy is looking snatched. I don't know about all that. Okay, so we're going to grab our Juvia's Place. This is the Blushed Volume 4. We're going to grab our blush brush. For today, we're doing a lot of neon bold kind of colors. So I'm going to pull it back just a little bit on the cheeks. And we're doing a nice blue lip today. So I'm going to pull it back just a little bit on the cheeks so that those two things can be the focus. So we're going to go with this lighter color here. We're going to get a couple swipes there. We're going to go right on the top and overlap the logo that we just put in. We're just giving like a little tiny hint. And so for you, depending on your skin tone, for you, this could maybe be a little bit more of a peachy color. If you like neutrals, you can have it just be a little bit lighter than the bronzer you use just to bring it up a little bit. If you're a little more on the golden tone, beautiful gold dust would be nice right here. I think it's the volume 6, volume 5. Is a beautiful gold series in this blush series from Juvia's Place. So try out different blushes while you're in the store. Make sure you sanitize that because you don't know who used that before you and if they sanitize. So no matter what store you're at, and if you don't want to do the sanitizing yourself, if they're not, having that sanitizing stuff right there, ask an associate. Hey, I would like to test this. Can you please sanitize this? And watch them do it. Okay, so we're going to go back into here. We're going to go, let's see, where did I leave off? I think I need to be up here, here, and here. I'm talking and I'm losing track. Here we go. All right. So now that we have that in place, we're going to add a little highlights in here. So I'm going to set that over there. I'm going to set that over there. I'm going to go back to that brush that we were using. And we're going to do this one for the highlight. I'm going to grab my cookie. This is Benefit. I love the shimmer on this one. So the eyeshadows we're using are all matte today. So if I'm doing matte all on my lid, I like to have a little shimmer on the top of my cheek because, you got to have some sparkling somewhere. So we're just going to swirl that around right on the top of that cheek, meeting where that blush was we just put on. Get that right there. We're going to go right down the center, making sure we get that. Nice. And we may or may not come back and add a little bit extra on there just because we can. All right, so let's take a look at our verse, and then we're going to jump into our lips. So the verse is scrolling around. Well, actually, it just kind of passed us on the bottom of the screen. So we're going to chit-chat for a second while that's coming around. Okay, let's see. When I was in high school, my skin was so oily, I always had to carry those oil blotting things. It was awful. And I worked at tanning salons, so I tanned all the time. Yeah, you would think that dried out, but sometimes you dry your skin out and then it overproduces the oil to compensate for the drying out you're doing. Okay, so here is our word for the verse coming across the bottom. All the workers you've exploited and cheated cry out for judgment. The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger. You've looted the earth and lived it up, but all you'll have to show for it is a fatter than usual corpse. In fact, what you've done is condemn and murder perfectly good persons who stand there and take it. All right. So, man, sad, sad, sad. And definitely words not really of encouragement. But, well, I guess it would sort of be backwards encouragement that if you're not the one doing this, yay for you. So, you know, watch your actions. Watch how you're treating other people. Okay. So, onward from that little bit of spanking, let's press on to our lips. So, we've got the NYX. This is the Suede Matte Lip Liner, and this one is the Jet Set. Color Jet Set. So, we're going to use a nice blue. We're going to put a blue lip on before we do our eyeshadows. So, let's see. What is a shade that you are afraid to use on your lips? Have you ever done blue? Is there a color that you're like, oh man, I just couldn't wear that? You have that? What is that for you? So we're gonna start out here in the Cupid's bow. I'm actually gonna have to give this one a little bit of a sharp because it's being finicky. So we're just gonna, sometimes the lip liner, if it gets a little, you know, you've had it for a minute, maybe it dries out a little, just give it a nice quick sharp just for a second, and that'll take that dullness out, and then you can actually use it again. Here we go.
The cries have been heard.
Or it could just totally be a pain while you're live on camera. Here we go. All right. There you go. And I am overlining just a little bit, just outside the lip line a little bit. Okay, every time I hear that in that song, I sing that in my head. Okay, it's not really singing. You know what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the bottom. I may just be doing that the whole rest of the time. Let's see. Okay, so my color was purple until I started working with you. Oh, well, happy you have expanded your horizons. Okay. All right. Now, this lip color we're using, you don't really need a whole lot of lining. I like the lining because it kind of gives you a path that you want to go. This color is so beautifully solid, and you know, you cannot see through it, so you don't need a lip liner with this. I just like it because it, you know, it's like color in between the lines when you get the lip color. Okay, let's see. I want to try the blue lipstick that Wendy recommended in an earlier episode. It's probably the same one that we're fixing to use now. If you are lucky enough to find this exact one, this is a KVD, and this one is called Scorpius, Scorpiiris, something like that. I don't know that they're currently making this exact one. So what I have on there for you is a Maybelline blue one. I have used that one in the past. I don't currently have one at the moment, so that's why I'm not using that one. But the Maybelline one is awesome. It wears well. Amazon link is going to be in the show notes. Yes, Wendy is putting blue lip liner on. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so I'm going to give that just a little bit of a shake just because it feels like you should do that. But this liquid lipstick from KVD just has a nice doe foot. And we're going to start out now. Here, let me close that up for a second. So with any liquid lipstick, when you put it on, most of them dry down nicely if they're good. And so you want to leave your lips just separated a little bit to let it dry down before you put the lips together. If you put the lips together before it has dried down fully, sometimes they'll separate and it'll transfer to one side or the other side, and you end up with like a void in your lipstick. So with liquid lipsticks, put them on, especially if they're going to dry matte or they're an all day like this one. Separate them just a little bit, let them dry down, and then you'll be good to go for the rest of the day. Okay. So back to here. We're going to take that. My volume has turned itself up again. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All the workers you've exploited and cheated, cry out for judgment. I'm just starting out in the middle, and then I'm going to work that top. But all you have to show for it is a fatter than usual corpse. The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger. I'm so glad we got quiet right then. I love that part. And no, I'm not rapping in front of you. Okay, here we go. Again, starting in the middle. And now we're going to do the outside line. And we're just walking right along that lip liner line. Okay, you may have to dip it in just a little bit. Make sure that your line is exactly where you want it and both sides are even. Oh, that's my cat Alice talking, if you can hear her. Okay. And we're just going to leave our lips a little bit separated while we move on to our eyes. So you can see that is just a beautiful blue. And you know, usually I've had this happen a couple times. I like blue toenail polish on my toes. And if you ever have any kind of emergency thing happen and they look down at your toes and see blue toes, they're going to go, oh my gosh, her toes are blue. Oh wait, that's nail polish. So I don't know if blue lips would have that same effect. So hopefully none of us with our blue lips are going to need an ambulance ride. Okay. Yeah, the KVD liquid lipstick, slightly iridescent. Some of them are. This one is not. This one is very matte. So it's going to dry down. Won't have any shine at all. If you're a glossy girl, just find you some nice gloss to put on the top. If you like a plumper, get you a nice buxom. They have a clear. If you like that iridescent, then you could do, I don't remember the name of it. They're all girl names, Kathleen or something like that. That's kind of a clear with a little bit of pearl in it. So that one would be pretty on the top too. Just gives you a different look depending on what you want. Okay, so let us dive into what we're going to be doing today for our eyes. I am super excited about this. I don't normally wear neon colors, but I thought it was fun because my clothes are boring today. Okay, here we go. So, oh, that's a question for you. Here you go. Here's your question. You ready? Let me hear a shout out. Do you try to match your eyeshadow to like your clothes or your hair or your lipstick or anything like that? You try to match your eyeshadow to anything on your being when you decide what you're wearing that day? Or do you wear the same thing all the time? Okay, so back UCANBE candy splashes. So let's take a look at this. If I can get it open, there we go. This one, I want to say it's like 54 colors. Let me take that out. There we go. And the green one had a little bit of a problem, so we got a little, don't worry about that. Okay, so we're going to start out with this one up here. That's going to go up on the bone. It's just kind of a blender color. Then we're going to be living in this one right here. We're going to go to this one right here. We're going to take a minute in this one right here. And then I told you we were going to be using a little Juvia's Place. So really, we're just using the Juvia's Place for one color. But this is the Culture 2 palette, and that one color is a color that we need. That is Delta right here. We're using that for the outside corner. We just need a little intensity, and it's almost the same color as the KVD lipstick. So let's see. Alice likes the blue because it reminds her of Alice in Wonderland. You know, that could be. That very well could be. Okay, so again, we're going to start out with this one. I'm going to grab a smaller brush. This is the Morphe M456, I think. So this is not the big fluffy one we usually use up on the top. We're just using it for blending right here. So we get a color to blend into. So let's see. Ensure the shadow is the same color range as my outfit. Yeah, I think for me, probably that's the most. I mean, sometimes if I'm just having a meh day and I'm, just gonna stay at home or going to work or the grocery store or something like that, I might do something that matches my hair just because it seems the thing to do. But usually it goes to my clothes. Tend to focus on matching the lipstick to clothes. Yes, that happens too. Except for today where nothing is matching. I'm hoping to find a jewelry thing that's going to match this. So I have a couple of ideas if I still have the pieces. We'll see. We'll see. You'll see in the picture. Okay, so we're just going to go right here in this fluffiness, right on that tip. And we're going to go right on that bone right there. You're just going to do a little bit right here. This is just going to give us kind of a neutrally-ish kind of color to blend into while we're working with those neons. And it's not really neon. I guess I should just say bright because it's not really neon. I mean, you could do it with neon. So if you've got neon colors, maybe you enjoy some cosplay from time to time, or you got some Halloween stuff sitting around or something like that, you can use those neons. You get it, girl. Okay. All right. Let's see. I also started wearing nail varnish again, so that means makeup need to match. Yes, I wish I was more gentle on my hands and could do nail lacquer, varnish, polish, whatever. But I am just really rough on my hands, and I will literally paint them. And before a couple of hours have passed, I already have like nicks and ditches, and it already looks yucky. So let's go here. I'm going to go into this color right here, this beautiful yellow, bright and bold. And we're going to go right there in that corner. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Just go right there in that corner. And we're going to go up a little bit to get into that orange color we put there. And we're going to go over just a little bit because we want to leave a little bit of yellow there so we got something to blend that green into. Okay, let's see. If it's for a special event, then I take the time to actually match my shadow to my outfit. But as you know, at work, I normally do the same soft glam eye look. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So I would just encourage you every once in a while, be a little bold and adventurous. And I know you do that. So that's why I use press-on. Yes, press-on nails. Woo-woo! Okay, now we're going to go into this green here. These are not named or anything, so sorry why I'm pointing so much. We're just going to go on the back side of that yellow brush that we just did. I'm just going to give a couple swipes. And we're going to go right here to about maybe a little more than halfway. And we're just going to put that bright green right there. Better to use a little less on your brush and come back over it a few times and end up with green sprinkled on the top of your cheek. We have a little leprechaun-ness going on. There we go. And then we're just going to go over that yellow edge just a little bit to soften that so they blend together. And again, we're going all the way up into that orange right up there. And I didn't want to do a cut crease today because I didn't want a harsh ending line. So we're just going to do that. Now, just for the sake of whatever, we're just going to fluffy brush wipe away just to make sure we don't got nothing funky going on. I'm going to grab another eyeshadow brush. This is a Maximum Sun. Just a general purpose all over eyeshadow brush. Let's see. I always plan to play with my makeup at some point on the weekends, but my kids always have other plans. Yes, that does happen. That does happen. All right, so we're going to go right here into this blue, and we're just going to get it on one side. And again, this is definitely one of those. Do not overload your brush. In fact, give it a little tap. We're just going to put that right here. We're going to go all the way to the outside corner with that, because while we are coming back in here with that delta from Juvia's place, it is strong enough. It can go over the top of this, and that will help that to blend out a little bit. So we're just going to go all the way up here. And we're going to blend that right there like that. Yeah, I know, kids, man. You can't live them, and you can't live with them, and you can't live without them. They're like husbands. Okay, so we're just going to go right here. We're making sure that that ends right up at the top where we had those other colors. I do see a little fallout, so let's get that while we got it. Here we go. Getting that right there again. Going right here. We're just kind of pressing that in. And then we're just going over the area where those two colors meet. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab that green, the other side of that brush where we had that green, and let's just go ahead and use that green to go over that seam right there so we can blend that out nicely. We're just tapping it right where those two colors meet. Okay, and don't worry too much right now. If you got like a little bit of, see how I got like a line happening right there? We can totally blend that out here in just a second. But right now, we're not going to do that. Okay, blending that out. The blue brush, whoop, that's not it. Actually, let's grab a smudger. A smudger. This one is a MAC, something. We're going to grab that Culture 2 palette, or whatever palette you're using for your dark. And we're going to take that smudger. We're going to go right here into that delta, just on the tip of that. It does not take much of this to do what we need it to do. So just on the tip, do not overload that, because if that falls out on your face, now you're going to have to do some wiping. Okay, so we're going to go right here on the outside corner. Just give it a little dot right there. And we're just going to blend on the outside of that. Kind of doing like a little bit of a V. Just to help that blue get a little more intense. Let's do that same thing on the other side. Okay. And you can see now the whole lecture that I gave about not overloading your brush. I did that exact very thing. There we go. We can fix it here in a second. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the, now that we got that beautiful blue there on the outside, I'm going to go back to the splash. We're going to go back in that blue right there. And we're just going to tap that in that middle there and make sure that blue is all nice and comfy. And blend it up with there. There we go. There we go. I see a conversation about Smoky TLI. I did do one of those a while back. I don't remember what episode that was. I can try to pull that up here in just a minute. Okay, we're going to go back to the orange brush that we used right up here. Just give that a little tap. And we're just going to use that to soften that upper edge there. There you go. Now we've got that happening. we need to make sure that we mimic that on the bottom. So I am going to grab a smudger. This is just a nice under eye smudger. This one is a Morphe. What is this? M508. So we're going to start in the lighter color on the inside and then work our way out because we're just going to use the same brush for the whole thing. So we're going to go right here in that yellow. Just get it on the very tip of that. Very tip. Right here. I'm going to go ahead and get it on that inside corner.
All the workers you've exploited and cheated, cry out for judgment.
Now we're going to take it and get in that green just a little bit. Right underneath where that green is. Get that green under there.
The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger.
Okay, now we're going to move to the blue. Get that a little bit right under where that blue is. I'm going to go all the way to the outside edge with that one. Now we're going to grab that culture too so we can catch that outside corner right here. Right here. Just on that outside corner. Then up and around so we can make sure we got some nice intensity happening there. All right. Now we did have a little bit of extra fallout from, I think you should use that lipstick color on my eyes. Ha! Okay, so I'm going to grab my triangle puff. I'm going to go into the setting powder. And we're just going to lift that area a little bit. And erase that fallout that happened. And then we'll come back. I told you we would probably have to come back with our highlighter, and I was right. How do you like that? Okay. So let's just go ahead and do that now while we got it. So I'm going to grab that highlighter brush. This is an Anastasia. Let's just go ahead and swish that around here. We just covered that up, so let's get that right there. Woo, 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 right there. Now we all back. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of eyeliner. So I'm going to grab my Juvia's Place Egyptian Liner in Kajal. We're going to go from the outside to about halfway. There we go. I'm going to go from the outside edge down here. We're going to do just a little bit on that lower. Actually, let's just do it on the waterline. Yeah. Okay, nice. Oh, yes, look at that. Love, love, love. I'm going to go ahead and do the upper waterline for when we put our lashes on. Okay, so now we got a little definition to our eyes. When we get ready to put our lashes on, it will help us be able to have like a darker right there in the middle where the lashes are and then the water lines are. So then you can notice more the colors that we have put on the under and the over of the eyes. So I am going to be using the Juvia's Nubian Lash. This is one of my favorites. This is the Zaria Just a nice flare, a lot of dramatic. Okay, it's in the medium volume of this. Flare lower on the inside, shorter on the inside, wider on the outside. Super easy to be able to tell where your lash goes. I'm going to use my lash tool, and I'm just going to grab that lash from the outer corner on that tray, set that down in front of me. These have already been trimmed. If you are putting on a brand new set of lashes, you can watch one of my other videos, I think about 3 weeks ago. So maybe episode 33-ish. I did a new lash application, and so you can take a look at how to do that. Before we actually get our eyes on, though, we're going to need a little mascara so that we can blend our eyelashes with the eyelashes that we're fixing to put on. So let's grab our lash curling tool. Whether you have a heated tool like the wonderful one from, oh gosh, what's the name of that? Their stuff is all pink. Anyways, heated lash tool, or you can use just a crimping lash tool. This one I like. This one is from Tweezerman. Does a good job of not pinching your actual, skin and eyelid and all that. So we're gonna get that ready. Find your sweet spot. When you crimp that bad boy down, you should not feel ow on your eyelid. If you've done that, then release it, pull it forward just a little bit, and try it again. So we're going to use our verse as a timer today. So find your sweet spot. We're going to wait till that verse rolls around before we crimp that bad boy shut. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to have to look back so I can see it. There we go. All the workers you've exploited and cheated cry out for judgment. The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger. You've looted the earth and lived it up, but all you'll have to show for it is a fatter than usual corpse. In fact, what you've done is condemn and murder perfectly good persons. Now we're going to quickly go to the other side so we can try to catch that verse on here and find that sweet spot. There we go. All the workers you've exploited and cheated cry out for judgment. The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger. You've looted the earth and lived it up, but all you'll have to show for it is a fatter than usual corpse. In fact, what you've done is condemn and murder perfectly good persons who stand there and take it. And that's James 4:5-6. I think I forgot to say the reference the first time. Okay, so we are going to grab our mascara. I am using the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. This one has the curved wand. No particular reason, I just care for the curved wand. Okay, so we are going to just give one coat. We're going to flick back on the tips there. And this is just going to help our lashes blend in better. Even if you have nice, super dark lashes, this is still a good practice because it will give you a little bit of extra volume with your lashes as you put them on. And, one of the reasons why we wear false lashes is for the volume. Okay, so we're going to go here. And again, we're coming back. Sweeping back on those tips. And we really just need like one coat because we're wearing the false lashes. Now, if you're not wearing the false lashes, then you may need a couple extra coats. Well, I'll also tell you this. If your lashes are black and you don't do this particular step, there is a great likelihood that the eyeshadow powder that you did not notice had fallen to the back of your lashes is going to fall on the tops of your cheeks because you're not like sealing it in or whatever with mascara. So I would definitely, especially if you're using bold colors, I would definitely mascara my lashes just so that you can prevent that kind of thing from happening. Okay, so let's get our bottom lashes because we're not putting any kind of false lash there. And I feel... Okay, there we go. Well, I felt a little hair. I don't know where it went. This could be a bad time. Okay, there we go. So we're just going from root to tip here. Giving a nice coating on those bottom lashes. And while I was up close, there we go. Let's go ahead and do the other side. There you go. I'm just making sure I get even coverage from root to tip here on the bottom. Oh, sorry if my head was turned too far. Okay, now we are going to... Sorry, I'm squinting. I always do that because my bottom lashes are so long. If I don't squint a little to lift them up, they have a tendency to touch down, and then my tips of my bottom lashes will touch my cheek, and I get a little transfery things. Does that happen to anybody else? You got long bottom lashes too? Okay, so we've already got our lashes. They're out of the tray. They're set down on the table in front of us. Now let's go ahead and apply our lashes. I am using the Kiss Super Stick. This is the black. I love the black. I think that it does a great job of being the eyeliner color and giving your lashes something to stick to. It's just really pretty. So I have adopted this way of applying your lashes. You do you, boo. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and I'm going to do one side. I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to go to the inside edge here. And I'm going to give myself a nice thin line as if I was applying eyeliner. And I'm going to go back into that. I'm going to do the other side here. And we're just going to make a nice thin lash glue liner bead right there. And while that's still wet, we're going to do one lash at a time. While that's still wet, we're going to take our lashes. We're going to grab that right in the center, and we're just going to set that on that adhesive. You're going to go to the outside corner. Put that on that adhesive. The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger. There you go. Now I feel like something got on the tip of my thing, so I'm just going to wipe the tip of the tool off to make sure I don't have any adhesive on that, because you don't want it. You'll feel it if you get any adhesive on there, you'll feel it gets like a little resistance and kind of sticky-ish. Okay, there we go. So you can see that also kind of throttles down the bright bold color that we have until you blink your eyes. So when you blink, whoop. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so we're gonna grab that liner. We're gonna do our adhesive, and we're gonna do that same thing on the other side. So again, taking it out, wiping off one side, going from the inside edge to about the middle. Then I'm gonna go in again, and then I'm gonna go from the outside. Here we go. I'm just going to separate that. There we go. I'm going to use my tool. I'm going to grab my other lash. I'm going to set that right there in that middle. Put the inside down. You can go the outside. Put the outside down. The cries have been heard. Just pressing that in, making sure everybody's touching the way that they should be. There we go. Now you have that beautiful, bright, bold neon, depending on the colors that you used. We got that like orange sort of happening a little bit. I'm actually going to take the, let me just do that highlighter up here. We're just going to do that little right there. And now we need to do our brows. So go ahead and grab your brow product of choice. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Original. This is in the, I think it's like dark deep burgundy, I think. And this is going to be my brow product. Whatever your brow product is, you can do that. And yes, that is true. I usually do that before I do all the rest of this. But I think I got ahead of myself, and it doesn't matter. It's just your brow product. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So I am just making sure that I am brushing that with the direction of the hair kind of upward a little bit, but trying to not get it actually touching my skin. This would be super pretty. Oh, I wish I'd have thought of that. With a blue brow product. Oh my gosh. Yes, that would have been so fun. Didn't think of it. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do the other side because it would be weird to have a burgundy brow and a blue brow. And we're going to go up. And we're just following the hair around. Some people like pencils. Some people like pomades. Some people like the brow mascaras like this. There's not really a wrong answer for it. It depends on the look that you want. Probably what era you were born in. But you know, do what makes you happy. Do what, when you look in the mirror, you think, oh, man, that came out so good today. And don't be afraid to try something new, because you don't know if your new favorite application is just around the corner, but you just haven't tried it yet. There you go. I would just encourage you, when you try something new, give yourself a little bit of time and space for that. Do not do that when you are out the door dressed up, ready to go to the Met Gala. That is not the time to be playing an experiment. Give yourself time. So I feel like I got a little something happening over there. We were talking about allergies earlier. So now that I got all this happening, I want to make sure that I set this. So I have shook up my Ready, Set, Seal. And we are going to set this so that it does not move all day. Yes. And while that is not one of the finer setting sprays that I have ever used, I do like the way that works. I think it does a good job of controlling oil, giving you a nice mattifying, yet not stark look. So I love that Juvia's Place setting spray. Okay, so what's our key takeaways for today? So you can boldly and confidently embrace colors even if you are north of 40 years old. I am 58, and I hope the day never comes where I am afraid to try a new color. So, look, there we go. Okay, so we used bold colors from UCANBE. We used a nice bold blue from Juvia's Place to achieve this nice bright look for today. So do not let your age stifle your creativity for trying new things in makeup. Okay, so let's take a look. If I can get my mouse to cooperate, there we go. And let's review some of our Bible verses. We're going to start at the tail end of chapter 4 and then work through the verses that we've done for chapter 5. So, starting at the end of James chapter 4, verse 16 and 17, as it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, that for you is evil. And then we moved on to last week was James chapter 5, verse 1 to 3, which I need to get a little cheat sheet for because I'm still working on that one. That is going to be James chapter 5, verse 1. And a final word to you, arrogant rich. Take some lessons in lament. You'll need buckets for the tears. When the crash comes upon you. You thought you were piling up wealth, and what you've piled up is judgment. Your greedy luxuries are No. What you piled up is judgment. Hold on, hold on. Oh, your money is corrupt and your fine clothes stink. Your greedy luxuries are a cancer in your gut. Cancer in your gut. Oh, destroying your life and destroying your life from within. There you go. You thought you were piling up wealth, and what you've piled up is judgment. Yeah, clearly that one needs a little bit of work, but we are at the beginning of chapter 5, so we got lots of time. Just keep working on it. So then we got our verse for today, James chapter 5, verse 4-6. All the workers you've exploited and cheated, cry out for judgment. The groans of the workers you used and abused are a roar in the ears of the Master Avenger. You've looted the earth and lived it up. But all you have to show for it is something about fatness. All you have to show for it is a fatter than usual corpse. In fact, what you've done is condemn and murder perfectly good persons who stand there and take it. So we'll be working on that and the other verses the whole time. This is going to be one of those not one and done kind of thing. So it's like braces and retainers. For the rest of your life, you are going to need to be continually working through this and talking through this. That is how you memorize. So not a one and done, just keep working at it. Again, all of our verses are coming from Color Me James. Go to colormejamesbook.com. Get connected to that email series, and that will help you from chapter 1, verse 1, work all the way through to today. Take your time. There is no reward for rushing your way through it and then not having learned or retained or applied anything. And just a reminder that in YouTube, we've got our Beauty and Grace Insider. If what you're looking at getting is the PDF version or the ebook version of that, the Cherish Queen membership level comes with that. So when you join that one, make sure to follow the series, the prompts through to the email, because the email is how that is going to deliver that free ebook to you. And then you can use the different couple of different apps that are recommended to be able to write in and do the journaling with a pen on your tablet or your finger on your phone or whatever the case may be. And then also a coloring app so you can actually color the coloring pages digitally right there on your iPad or your phone. Okay, so let's get a blessing and then we will be gone for this week, but look forward to seeing you next week. So here we go. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. All right, so that one comes from Numbers chapter, I think I usually say Exodus, but Numbers chapter 6, and that's verse 24 through 26. Heavenly Father, how thankful I am for each one of these ladies that have hung out here with me live, who are viewing this later on in recording. Father, I just pray that you would wrap your arms around them this week, that while these words from last week and this week seem a little bit harsh, they are all for our good. Father, help us to receive these words, to apply the pieces that are important to us. Help us to retain these scriptures. Help us to work diligently to hide this word in our heart, Father, because hiding our word in our heart, like we know in Psalm 119, verse 11, that is one way that we do not sin against you. So help us to do a concerted effort for getting these verses memorized. And I pray that you would send all of these women out this week, Father, that they would be an example of your light, that they would show your love, and that they would be Jesus to those around them. Father, I thank you for all these women again, and I pray that you would just send them out and bless them this week. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Well, it has been a delight to hang out with you. I hope that you have enjoyed our neon color eyeshadow look for today, playing with UCANBE and Juvia's Place. This week, let me show you what we got. This week, we're going to be doing one of my favorites. So in week 40, we have a word search. So I hope you enjoy that because I love word searches. And then our coloring page for this week that we're going to be working on is this beauty right here. And so be looking for that. You'll see her also in the verse card that will come out, the card that you can use as a phone wallpaper or save the images to your phone so you can use them like flashcards to help you with the memorizing. So enjoy that picture. And again, that music from Say La Soul is going to be wherever you listen to your favorite music. You'll be able to find that there. So I'm just curious, what are your favorite bold makeup tips? What is something that you do, or maybe you don't do, with regards to bold makeup? So give me a shout out for that on whatever your platform you're on, whether you are here now with me or you are watching this later on. I cannot wait. And you know what? Bonus points. Are there points? I don't think so. I don't know. But bonus points if you show me a picture of what you have done. So I would love to see your look, celebrate that with you. So do that. Make sure to tag me in it. Look forward to that. You can tag either Wendy Merritt or you can tag a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Either one of those. And I would love to see that. So until I see you again, maybe next week or online or whatever the case may be, I hope that you have a delighted week. It was a joy to spend that with you. I love you. Mwah!